Okay, so now let's actually create our document. And it is important to know that when you're creating a document, you'll want to include all your paragraphs in a paragraph element, all your paragraph tag, all your headers in a header tag, and that it is good to only have one H1 header once per document. So H1 is your H1 enter. H1 is gonna be the biggest header, and which is what the whole page is gonna be about. So this page is about us. So I'm gonna call my H1 about us. Now there should be no more H1s because there's nothing else as important as this on our page. Now our subheader, let's create a H2. Let's call Joey and boss, right? Or subheader under the boss. So we can have you can press Shift Alt and the up and down arrows to copy it, and there. Let's call it this one, Steven, and there this one, Frank. Okay, now we have three subheaders and one header. There we go. Okay, now we can have a H3 of something real random, lorem2. Okay, and now I have another subheader. Subheader, I'm not sure what I'm put here, so let me just put a paragraph of dummy text. So lorem 15 have okay. Now when you have this, you press Alt Z, which is gonna fit everything onto one screen, onto one screen. So now let's hear P lorem 15 and lorem 15. Okay, now we have a bunch of dummy text. Okay, and we all want them in the same tag so that when we edit them, when we edit how it looks like in our CSS, CSS is basically changing how every single element looks, making it pleasing to the eye. So when we change how everything looks, we want all of these to be chained together, so all of them will be in the P tag, paragraph tag. Okay. Now let's do some lists. So I'm gonna delete my dummy text, and I'm gonna create a list here. So no, actually, let's create a subheader. That's called hobbies, and this will be a list, right? So first, let's create an unordered list, which will use UL. Now in UL, you'll use li for each element, and you only use li. If you want an element to appear, you have to use li. So li, let's call reading, and again use Shift Alt up and down arrows to copy it. Okay, we can say skiing. We can say playing violin. And traveling. Okay, let me make one more. Control Shift. Oh no, not Control Shift. It's Shift Alt down. Okay, and let's call it watching anime. Right. Okay. Now let's add an order list. Okay, let's save this and for sure. Okay, first this is an unordered list, just bullet points. Now let's add an order list under watching anime of my favorite animes. So we go here, we go OL, which stands for order list, and in the OL again, like UL, we can only use LIs. So LI, let's say the first one, this is gonna be order. So let's say Hunter x Hunter. Okay. Now shift out down. Like number 2, we have let's see AOT. Okay. And number 3, Top God. I only watched the I watched the manga for this one, but it doesn't really matter. Refresh. Okay, now we have an order list under a bullet point of another unordered list. Great. Okay, now we can move on to now you know list is just UL and UL and OLs, and in the UL and OLs you add LIs for each bullet point. Okay, now let's move on to anchor tags, which is A. Let's add it on the top. We just have all you do is just type A, enter, and it will look like this. You have an href, and inside the href is the link that you're gonna put. Okay, so the link, this is the link to our channel, and if your link is local, you're gonna put the local name of your link. If your link is on the web, make sure you include https:// because this is needed for the world web. You can't just put youtube.com. You have to add https and www.com. Okay, now let's in between these two is what you're gonna add for how you want your thing to show up as. Ideally, in the end, I want this to show up as a button, but for now we have a learn about button. So let me just see. Click here to visit our channel. Okay, now now we can control save and refresh. Okay, now we have here. If we do open link in new tab, it's gonna bring out to your channel. Okay, great. Next, what we're gonna do is images. Okay, so we'll go here. Images is just like images is just IMG. And now, unlike some of the other tags, you do not have a closing tag, right? Like this A, you have an opening tag and a closing tag. H2, you have opening and closing tag. But this image, you're gonna only have there's no opening, okay, just image. Source is the link to your image. Now, if this image is in the same folder as your code, which it should be, all you need to do is type the name of the file, underthemoon.png. Okay, now we save, refresh, and boom, we have this giant image. And now we can change the image size and everything, how we want the image to look like in our CSS. But first, this is how it is for now. We're gonna leave it here for now, and this is really hard to navigate. So I'm just gonna invalidate this, and so that this will not load. Now, if it does not load, nothing appears. And how do I make it so that we have a replacement appear? And that is we put it in out. Out is so that if the image doesn't load for some reason, we want this to appear, so we let the readers know that at least there should be some here. Let's call it under the moon image. Yes. Now, if that our image cannot be found or our image does not load, this will pop up. It will say under the moon image. And yes, that's it. Oh, and one more thing that I forgot to add comments. So comments, you want to add it everywhere. You want to add it as much as possible so that you know what you're doing, and that when you come back to see your own code later, you can know where everything is. So let's add to add a comment, you do control backslash and you have comment. Let's make it same alignment. Okay, you have our channel, and you can use hints over here, like create a button later, add the text into the buttons. Okay, so ideally we want this to be a button, and we want it to look like a really fancy nice button to click on, and which will bring us to our YouTube channel. And we'll also need to know how to make it so that when you click on the button, it opens a new tab, because right now it opens the same tab, and we do not want that. We want it to open a new tab. Okay, over here we have just an image, probably delete later. Okay, over here we're gonna put about Joey, here about Steven, and here control backslash buffering. And yeah, now okay, everything is titled, and we can remember when we come back to this, like what I add this for. Okay, so now we're gonna need to create a button later and add the text into the buttons, and now it's very easy to navigate around. And if you come here and do fn12, if you inspect element, you can also see the comments here, and so that like you can also see the comments. Wait, refresh, save, refresh. There we go. Now it should pop up. Give a second. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay, now all the comments are showing up, and if somebody else is viewing our site and wants to know what the heck is going on, they just go here, and by reading the comments, it's gonna help them understand what is going on easier and navigate around easier. Okay, yeah, and that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.